Well, that was a lot more harder than it should have been. Like, really, we made so much hard work of that game, and in the end, it was a nail-biting finish. But we get 3 huge points at the end of the day. 3 crucial points in the bag at the end of what was a very, very strange game, to say the least. Welcome back to Analysing Arsenal. Hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. I certainly had a very, very good Christmas. But the Christmas football schedule is coming thick and fast, and this is the first of 2 games in the space of 3 days. We didn't play on Boxing Day. We played tonight in the Premier League at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace before we play again on New Year's Eve in our final game of 2017. And as you can see from the title, we narrowly beat Crystal Palace by 3 goals to 2, which is just a very, very weird scoreline, because that game was, like, in the first half, you wouldn't have thought in a million years that game would have ended like 3 goals to 2, like, generally. And the second half was much more better, much more exciting, very flat and kind of subdued, boring first half, even though we should have had many, many more goals in the first half. But second half, that was just very, very strange. You know, Palace came to life. We shut them off quickly with a bit of Sanchez magic. And then it was kind of a late, you know, bite in your nails, you know, squeaky bum time, really, when Palace, you know, got to a second goal and, you know, easily could have equalised right at the death. But we got ourselves 3 points, back to winning ways after that absolutely insane game at the Emirates just before Christmas against Liverpool, and we are still in this Champions League battle. So, let's go right back to the beginning of the game. And yeah, playing Crystal Palace is they're a very, very weird team. Like, they are performing absolutely horrendously at this particular moment. But they are, you know, they're a good side. And over the last couple of years, they've caused us problems. Like last season at Selhurst Park, we got battered 3-0. We absolutely got ripped to shreds. And, you know, there's been games when we've played Crystal Palace that have been really, really tough. You know, I remember back in the Tony Pulis days, you know, he set up his team very, very well. And it was an absolute nightmare to break down. Big Sam last year, you know, with Crystal Palace, caused us even more problems. He was responsible for the 3-0 demolition that we suffered. And, you know, Roy, even though Palace are not in the best position, you know, Roy is a good manager. He wasn't great at the Euros, he was absolutely terrible, but at Palace he's getting results, incidentally, and he's doing really, really well. And we knew it was going to be a tough, intense game. You know, Palace are going to, you know, they're playing very physical. You know, they get in your face, they cause you problems. They've got, you know, the likes of Zaha and Townsend who are very, very pacey and could cause you problems left, right and centre. And, you know, they beat Chelsea this season, you know, by 2 goals to 1 at, I think it was either at Selhurst Park or Stamford Bridge. I'm not too sure of the location of it. But, you know, they can cause problems against the big sides. And, you know, we've been out of form recently, so you never really know what Arsenal is going to turn up. And incidentally, it's the same, you know, that goes with Crystal Palace. You never know what team is going to turn up. When we look at the lineups, we reverted back to a 3-4-3. Sanchez, Ozil and Lacazette all started. Jack Wilshere and Granit Xhaka in that midfield. Kolasinac and Bellerin in the wing backs. Then we had Koscielny, Mustafi and Callum Chambers with Petr Cech in goal. And as for Palace, they have the likes of Benteke, Zaha, Townsend, Loftus-Cheek. So they had, you know, a decent forward line, and they had, you know, strength and power in the midfield. Yohan Cabaye, who is a January transfer target for Arsenal, was in the midfield. And the game kind of kicked off, and I didn't really know what to expect. As, you know, it's after Christmas. You know, we've seen in the past when Arsenal have played on Boxing Day, like they look like they're still kind of, you know, recovering from the Christmas, you know, celebrations. You know, we've been absolutely embarrassed at times on Boxing Day, but, you know, we played a couple of days after that, and again, you know, you just don't know what is gonna, you know, what teams are gonna turn up. And we started the game actually very, very well. Palace were very, very slow, very, very sluggish. We dominated the ball. We created lots of chances. It was a very, very slow, you know, sluggish and boring first half. I remember there wasn't really too much to shout about, you know, and it was the same thing that Palace weren't really looking like they were up for it. And we were just, you know, constantly a little bit like slow, and we were passing it slow. We were trying to go for the middle far too many times. We weren't being, you know, creative enough, and we weren't being quick enough, you know. We needed to exploit the wings, you know, this quick passing, pace in behind, causing problems for Palace. And we just weren't doing that. We weren't able to kind of get into a rhythm, get into a flow. But we did deserve to be ahead, and we do go ahead courtesy of Mustafi. And it starts from Alexander Lacazette, who had a fairly quiet game, but he did, set up the first goal. He is down the right hand side. He goes for the shot. Speroni makes a save. I think maybe Speroni could have catched it or parried it out of the side. He parries it straight back to Mustafi, and Mustafi's literally just got an easy kind of tap in, and he just slots it home. It would have been absolutely embarrassing. He'd missed that chance. But, he just slots it in calmly and collectively. I definitely think Speroni could have done better. And, Lacazette, great bit of quality. It all really started from us winning a foul on the edge of the box. And then that fell and translated into Lacazette going down the right hand side and then going for the shot, which Mustafi snatched up the rebound. So we were 1-0 up after 25 minutes. And, we were creating more, chances. Sanchez and Ozil tonight were very, very, very good, I have to say. Sanchez... And I've criticised him over the last couple of weeks. He hasn't really looked up to it. It looks like he wants to leave and he's not really putting 110%. He put in 110% tonight. He was, man of the match, and absolutely deserved man of the match tonight. He was absolutely brilliant. And there was some kind of moments between Ozil and Sanchez in the first half. Ozil got the ball and just passed it. Lovely ball into Alexis Sanchez, and Speroni made the save. And there was a couple of really nice bit of link-up play between them. They played really, really well. And we went into half-time thinking that, the only kind of negative, well, there was two negatives. Firstly, it was quite a boring game, a sluggish game, as I've said before. But also, more to the point that we should have had 2 or 3 goals at this stage. We should have put the game to bed. We created a lot of chances. Palace just didn't really look up for it. And then second half, they came out, and it was a very, very weird second half. Whatever was said in that half-time team talk, Palace woke up. They woke up really, really, well. And there was about a 10-minute spell where they looked absolutely deadly. Zaha, Townsend springing into life, causing pace, and Palace equalised just inside the 49th minute. And I said it was about this 10-minute spell, and it was Townsend going down. Well, no, it was Zaha going down the right-hand side, and he passed it in, and Bellerin just stopped tracking Townsend's run down the middle of the side. He marked to go down the right hand side to cut off the channel and put traffic into the ball that Zaha was pinging in, and nobody was marking Townsend, and they just left Townsend, who was basically exposed and open in kind of the centre of our goal, incidentally, and no one was marking, no one was picking up, no one was tracking it. And the quality that Andros Townsend possesses, he's just going to bury it into the left hand corner. Czech should have done better, and Palace equalised, and the game all of a sudden changes. We're giving the ball away, we're being sloppy, we're just not creating anything of the sort that is going to cause some problem. And it was really, really concerning, because they easily could have gone 2 up. And at that stage, kind of once Crystal Palace equalised, it looked like that, and certainly probably what Roy was thinking on the touchline, is that this game is there for the taking. It was just a spring in the towel. We just sat off and depicitated, if you like, and we looked like we were about to capitulate. And at 1-1, it was fearful. I was fearing the worst. I was shouting, moaning, raving, swearing, because it was just, I was starting to go down the line of the same old story. It's the same thing time and time again. We know we're in winning positions, we can't kill off games, and then we get punished, with our defensive frailties. But luckily for us, Alexis Sanchez stepped up. Absolutely ridiculous shot to put us back ahead after the hour mark. We kind of, if you like, soaked up and stifled Palace's kind of 10-minute spell where they looked really, really dangerous, and we did that really, really well. And then Sanchez gets a chance, goes for a shot, absolute rocket of a shot, brilliant shot to beat Speroni. And I didn't actually think it was in when it first went in. It was one of those where it looked like it hit the side netting, but then when the commentators, when Rob and Davey said, or not Rob and Davey, it was Alan and Davey, but when they were like, oh, that's the goal, and I was just like, oh, it's gone in, oh my god, and I was very, very happy. And then just about 3 minutes later, Jack Wilshere on the edge of the box, great ball over the top, a fantastic lob ball. Sanchez controls it with just style, and oozes his control with just ease, and makes it look so nice, silky, and just makes it look really, really kind of a classy way to control the ball, and then just slots it past Speroni, and it's 3-1. And at this stage, it did feel like game over. We controlled the first half rather well, despite not being the greatest spectacle. And then we had about a 10-minute spell where we looked really, really rocky, and then Sanchez gets himself 2 goals, 2 great bits of magic from the Chilean, who really was up for it today, really, really impressed with his performance, and we go ahead. And at this point, Crystal Palace sit off again. Again, it's kind of a game that we're controlling rather well. We're causing them problems. We could have added maybe a 4th goal, 5th goal, and you know it just took the spring out of Palace's lead until kind of like the last, and it was a tale of so many halves and so many stories told over this 90 minutes, because in kind of the final 10 minutes Crystal Palace woke up again and started to create chance after chance after chance, and then in kind of the 89th minute they get an equaliser from a corner, James Tompkins on the header. Again, Czech should have done better, you know, really should have been saved it, and he's been really, really poor over the last couple of weeks. And ever since he's come to Arsenal, you know, there was a kind of a brief spell when he first joined that he looked absolutely brilliant, but since then he's just kind of, you know, dipped down and kind of fallen off, you know, the ladder, if you like. But, you know, it was a very good goal taken by Palace, and it was squeaky bum time. You know, we were holding on, you know, we were trying to time waste and run the clock down. We had 4 added minutes, and you know, we again, you know, soaked up and stifled their pressure. They had a really, really good chance just seconds before the game ended to make it 3-3, but we held on and in the end get ourselves 3 huge points. And in the end, when you look at the stats, both teams had 16 shots. We had 9 on target. Crystal Palace had 2 on target. They brought on Sacco in kind of the 75th minute. He had 3 or 4 really good chances, but he's not good enough really, and he kind of just, you know, lashed every single chance he got, and he didn't do, you know, too well at all. Christian Benteke did absolutely nothing. He's an absolutely worthless player. I don't care what anybody says. You know, he had it, and he had the potential to take, you know, a step to becoming a really, really good player, and he's just kind of fallen all the way down. He did absolutely nothing tonight. As did Alexandre Lacazette, which is quite concerning. Even though he set up the first goal, apart from that, he didn't really do anything. He came off the 75th minute, and he looked really, really angry. He never ever plays 90 minutes, and you know, again, he's not really living up to the hype that was, you know, surrounding him when he joined Arsenal. But again, I think it will come with experience, and I said I don't think we're going to be seeing the best of him this season, but I think we're going to be seeing the best of him kind of next season when, you know, he's in his sophomore year and he's had a whole kind of Premier League season under his belt, and you know, he knows the Premier League and how it works, physicality and the emotion of it, and I think we'll see the best of him this time next year. But you know, it's a very, very good win. Let's have a look at the Premier League table. I've got the Premier League table up on my PC now. Let's go up to the Premier League table. So we are still 6th, but we are level on points with Tottenham Hotspur. We are a point behind Liverpool, and we are 5 points behind Chelsea, 6 points behind Manchester United, and we are 21 points behind Manchester City. So title has been gone a long, long time. Second place is out the window. We've got Chelsea coming up. That's our first game of 2018. So it's a real chance for us to kind of put pressure on Chelsea, close the gap. But we are very much still in this top 4 race. Liverpool are going to be strong, obviously, now that they've got Van Dijk, and they've got, you know, much more of a defensive stability now with that signing, if Van Dijk lives up to the price tag that he's been handed on him. But Spurs, even though they were scintillating, you know, they are rocky, and we're very much still in this. You know, we're now 4 points clear of Burnley, so you know it's shaping up to be that top 6 is probably where the Premier League is going to finish. And also, we've got the Europa League to fall back on if things don't go well in the Premier League. So, you know, we're still not playing well. You know, every time Arsenal go out on that field, I'm not confident that we're going to win. And there are moments in the game where every time an opposition team go forward, I'm fearful. And, you know, things are not right at Arsenal. But we've got 3 really important points. And after dropping points against Liverpool, it was nice to get back to winning ways, particularly in this really hectic kind of Christmas and New Year schedule. You know, it's very, very good to get yourself 3 points on the board. And Crystal Palace, no matter where they are, in their 16th right now on 18 points, 11 points with West Ham, and they are a point clear of the relegation zone. It's a tough place to go, Selhurst Park, and you know it's going to be a tough game. You know, a London derby, and you know I just knew that it wasn't going to be the easiest game. Kind of surprised the way Crystal Palace started, but they had flashes of what I expected them to do, and in the end we walk away with 3 really, really big points, and that is really, really good because we needed to keep pace, particularly as every team apart from Manchester United got 3 points on the board in this Christmas schedule. And we go into our final game of 2017 against West Brom away from home, another really difficult game. And I want to know, who's the West Brom manager now? Because obviously Pulis got the sack, and I'm not going to try and guess. Oh, it's Alan Pardew. So it's the return of Wenger against Alan Pardew. That is going to be an interesting game to say the least. And you know, because yeah, there's been some history between Pardew and Wenger. That is not going to be an easy game whatsoever. That is going to be a really, really tough game. We got battered by West Brom this time last season in that fixture, so hopefully we can finish 2017 with a win, keeping in touch with the Champions League places, and then we go into 2018, hopefully, and hopefully get a little bit better, and hopefully we can start 2018 racking up some wins, and who knows where it's going to take us. We've got a very, very busy January, Carabao Cup semi-final games, Premier League games, the FA Cup is back, so it's going to be interesting to see what 2018 beholds for Arsenal. But I'm going to leave analysing Arsenal there for you guys today, and in the end, a very, very big and good win. Well, kind of deserved in the end. There were flashes of brilliance from Crystal Palace, but in the end, we walk away with the win but we made a lot of hard work for that. Please make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to this channel if you are new around here. Please welcome 2018 with me as a brand new subscriber. That would be the absolute world to me. Check out my other content as well. And this is DJ Bagpuss signing out, and I will rejoin you on New Year's Eve for the final analysing Arsenal 2017, and stay tuned for my final video of 2017 as well. 2 more videos hopefully to end 2017. So stay tuned for all of that, and yeah, I will speak to you later, and until next time, bye bye, take care, see you all soon.